Hello, friends. Welcome to Simplifying Retail Podcast. Today, I have a very special friend. He has been my friend from Far East Indonesia. He has been the CEO of Book My Show, and he was running that particular company as a CEO very successfully. And now he is in Middle East region, and now he is heading as a CEO, as a Chief Business Officer of one of my favorite brand, which I love from my heart, called Lenskart.com. You guys must have heard about this brand if you are from Indian territory. This is one of the category leaders. It's one of the brand which has made direct to consumer section and created a revolution in eyewear. And Sudhir, let me introduce you to my friend called Sudhir Syal. He is the Chief Business Officer for Lenskart Middle East, and he is now conquering the GCC market with his concept called Lenskart.com. Welcome, Sudhir, on my show.
Ritesh, it's an absolute pleasure to be here. It's an honor, and congratulations to you, Ritesh, for this amazing podcast show and your service to the retail industry.
Sudhir, I should be congratulating you for opening your first store in Dubai Festival City. Friends, if you happen to be in Dubai, please make sure that you come and check out this store. It's a unique store which, according to me, I was in 3 years back when I got exposed to this brand in New Delhi in their showroom in Connaught Place, and I was totally blown away. They had that time launched something called augmented reality tools into their store. All their the glasses, frames, lenses were really very fashionable and practical at the same time. So Sudhir is going to share his vision, his mission for 2022 for his brand in the Middle East and how he is going to take forward. Sudhir, coming to my first question, how is the transition? I know you from Book My Show days. You have been into event marketing where you were selling the tickets, and now you are selling a commodity like a lenses. I am saying, friends, commodity because those people who have the vision correction requirement, this eyeglasses is a commodity for them. So how you are selling this commodity from tickets to a product?
I think this is a great question, Ritesh. However, I think centrally with every business, I believe in the maxim of people, service and profits, which means that first you have to build and look after your own people, and that is common across any business. You could be in oil and gas or coal or whatever it may be. First beat, number one, right? So your people have to be extremely important, and how you look after them. Two is service. How do you look after the quality of service to your customers? And that has to have immense attention to detail, right?
True.
And once you look at those two, the profits are automatically follow, and that's common across all industries. Now, when you look at entertainment versus here, there are some similarities. Number one, creating a brand is very common in both, and brand building is extremely important because that creates loyalty where people keep coming back, right?
True.
And that's common in consensus across both. Number one. Number two, at some level, in live events on cinema, you're working with big venues, and here as well you're working with big venues, but the venues are retail stores, right? So they're centrally. But I guess the big difference is this is a 24-hour business. Live events is sporadic. Live events is also more highs and lows, and retail also is a big daddy of most businesses, right? It's
True.
a huge business, extremely interesting, extremely in depth. And Ritesh was one of the first people I met when I made this transition.
True.
And he piqued my curiosity in terms of learning more about the business.
Oh,
so I thank you,
Sudhir.
Ritesh.
Most welcome, Sudhir. Friends, if you know about, or if you want to know about Lenskart.com, it started from India by a gentleman called Mr. Piyush Bansal. Correct me if I'm right
Yes,
in taking his name. And it was why it created the buzz in the market, because in India, if you are from India, this particular category has been very fragmented. Piyush Bansal brought this concept where he integrated all the opticians as into the ecosystem and launched his own brand. That was something very revolutionary in his idea and vision, and it started like a digital native brand. It was direct to consumer. That comes to my second question, Sudhir. Why this transition? You guys started as a direct to consumer digital brand, e-commerce. Why into physical store now?
So I think, fundamentally, we realize that once you want to grow and expand, it's not a function of physical. I think it's a function of the power of omnichannel, right? Omnichannel is extremely powerful because you facilitate consumer journeys from online to offline, from offline to online. And I think those who do only one of the two, they are missing out because consumers are fickle-minded. Some consumers have certain preferences. Eyewear as a category is a category which some people are comfortable not buying online. Some people are comfortable buying online. Some people are comfortable buying offline. Some people want touch and feel. Some people don't.
True.
As a business, why should we ignore the people who are not comfortable buying online?
So
right?
this is another touch point.
Exactly.
Okay.
It is a touch point, but it's also digitally focused where we are moving people across different touch points, right? So online we send people to stores and we say do a free eye checkup. Offline we say everything is being bought online. You can also go online. So it's at Eden. So let me tell you, Lenskart is fundamentally centered on three premises. One is high on tech and AR. So if you look at the looker screen there you have, you can try out thousands of augmented reality, which is also an app, and you can buy immediately, right? So we believe in this concept of being playfully addictive, right? And we believe this concept of addictive playfulness means that people want to try out different brands, people want to try out different styles, and that will in effect lead to engagement. That's number one, right? And number two is we are at heart a direct to consumer brand, which means we manufacture at our plants in China or in India, and we go sell straight to the consumer. And this means that we have our own brands. And what that does is that it helps us to give tremendous value to the customer in terms of price, because some of our competitors, which are like houses of brands, which are Magrabis, Aljabas, who are selling brands, they have numerous middlemen to pay off right through the value chain. And they have the Pradas and Gucci's of the world who they have to pay off. But fundamentally, the eyewear is all manufactured in very similar places. It's all coming from the same place. It's just these layers of brands on top. And we believe that the future is direct to consumer. And there are huge brands that have been created like Allwins and shoes or whatever it may be, which are direct to consumer brands. And we want to be the number one direct to consumer brand in terms of eyewear. Right?
So
and finally, let me just finish. We have created our own brands, which are extremely powerful, right? So you have John Jacobs, you have Vincent Chase, you have Lenskart Air. We have our own contact lens brand, Aqualens, which is extremely powerful. So we have created our own house of brands, and hence, in some way, to compare us with the Aljabas, Magrabis, it's not a fair comparison. It's like comparing Zara with a Gallery Lafayette, right? Because they don't have their own brands. I mean, they have a few, but they don't have too many. Ours is 90% our own brands.
When you say for the clarity, friends, own brands is something like it's like a 90% private label, white label brands. Yeah. You can find the similar style in international brands, but this is when it comes to the fashion part aspect of the frames, it's similar to what the designer wear is all.
I mean, it's all, we have our own designers, we have our own studios. Okay. I mean, whether it's similar to other brands or not, I won't comment. But what I can comment is that it's that you please visit our store and you will be amazingly mesmerized by the offers and by the quality of eyewear we have at very, very inclusive prices.
So what is the component, it's a technical question, what is the fashion component percentage of fashion versus basics? In a fashion, when we talk about fashion retail, there is a component called fashion. If you are a fast forward fashion brand like Forever 21, the fashion would be 70 and basic would be 30. But if you are like same model goes for Zara and H&M and all, but other brands will be 30% fashionable, 70%
so
basic.
We don't really look at it like that, because for us the market is, if you look at dividing it, it's eye and sun, right? Mm-hmm. And we believe that the consumer has become so aspirational today that everything has to be fashionable. Like look at you, Ritesh, you're wearing these really cool green glasses. I don't think you were wearing these 10 years ago, right?
Exactly.
I don't think you
cared.
I agree. I don't think you cared, right?
Exactly.
But today you care. Right?
Earlier, I remember when I started wearing glasses when I was 7 years old.
But you are a good looking guy anyway, Ritesh. So
thank you. I take that compliment.
Anything will look good on you.
That's a compliment, Sudhir. Sudhir, that brings me to my third question. When you started this as a tech company, so are you currently, you have built up your business based on technology or it's based on the product orientation?
So I think that I think the question is we are an omnichannel company at heart, right? And omnichannel also means building a plant, right? So to say that we have technology in our DNA, right? But it requires everything to make it work, right? And I think that's true of any global company. I mean, if you look at Amazon, right? Amazon is not only a technology company. I mean, there's a lot of various elements that make Amazon work.
You're right.
And I think for any company to say they're only a technology company is not right.
True. So when it comes to Middle East, say Festival City, if somebody buys the glasses and the lenses are powered, so do you will manufacture it in Middle East, or how does that supply chain work?
So we are similar to many leading e-commerce companies here. We want to centralize our production, and the reason we do that is so that we can offer you tremendous value and also make logistics easy, right? So when you make a purchase here for sunglasses, you just pick it up from the rack. When you pick up glasses and you want the power. Almost instantly, the order goes to our plant on the outskirts of Gurgaon, right?
Okay.
The power is customized.
Okay.
Within 2.5 days, it's shipped from there.
Wow.
And reaches you within 4 days, right?
Wow.
And we believe that the customer is comfortable waiting for 4 days. He doesn't really care because this is the second or third pair he's buying. And it's shipped here, and then he comes here, he tries it out again, and he takes it home.
Wow. So this glasses will be customized as per
So when you see it here, we'll send you a fresh piece.
Okay, and that piece comes directly from your plant in Gurgaon.
And we have plans now of setting up a plant here in Abu Dhabi. We have plans now of entering the Saudi market in a big way.
That's great.
25% of the world needs vision correction or help of some sort, and it's only 30-40% of them which those needs are being looked at, and we believe eye care can be accessible to all.
True. Sudhir, what do you see with this? We are at the end of 2021, and one of the most common question that is going around is, what retail trends do you see in next 2 years in Middle East? What is your perspective and opinion?
It's a great question. I think that firstly, there's this immersion of virtual reality, augmented reality, and the retail experience. You look at what Charlotte Tilbury is doing. Look at what even our competitor Maghrabi is doing.
You're right.
And look at what Ray-Ban came up with, right? Or look at various categories. And I think that's one part of it, right? I think the second part of it is this omni-channel experience and with loyalty being thrown in, right? And easy loyalty. I think that's also compelling, right? That's the second part where you're saying, let us acknowledge that consumers, a lot of consumers want to buy both offline and online. Let us acknowledge that, and let us help him with that. Let us facilitate. Let us work with the slope as opposed to working against the slope.
True. So your mainly focus is on the customer acquisition, which is online as well as physical into the retail, bringing it into your ecosystem.
Right. I think online, offline are meshed as one.
Exactly.
Ritesh has bought online.
Yes.
He has bought offline. Today he might buy online, tomorrow he might buy offline.
True. And personally, as a personal shopper, I prefer to touch and feel. I am not I check for prices online, but I end up shopping it inside. But
also,
store.
I think that I think what the pandemic has told us is that personal happiness, joy, doing things you love, giving yourself happiness is most important, right? And retail enables that. People in a retail mall, they are happy. There's a certain chemical that gets infused, and people are happy while walking in a mall. And it's creating those experiences in a mall, which is exciting. We're going to have great things happening over here. We're going to have amazing opening. Our store staff are going to learn flash dances, right? If we want to create a carnival-like atmosphere.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, and eyewear is a part of it.
Great. Right. So what I see, Lenskart is a fashion eye care.
Absolutely, and it's a lifestyle brand. If you look over here, people are chilling. They're comfortable. You can spend an hours here. We give you something
Friends,
to drink.
I would suggest each one of you to go to their website and check thousands of frames and the styles that they have on their online collection. And it's an amazing website. Personally, I'm a big fan. In fact, I had done a case study on Lenskart even before Sudhir could join Lenskart. I had done that case study in 2019, and it's there on my website, retailritesh.com. You can go through that case study. Sudhir, coming to my last question is more on a personal.
Sure.
I'm talking as to a friend.
Sure.
Have you ever failed in your life?
Yeah.
And what lessons have you learned from that failure?
I've failed multiple times in my life, right? And I think that that I have been fortunate to recover in somewhat from those failures. But uh, failures a stepping stone is a common saying that is often repeated. But I would actually say that you are not complete in your journey and experiences as a human being if you have not failed. And if you have only succeeded, then you have not experienced life completely. And I have failed in probably every 3-4 years once badly, right? And what I have realized from my failures is that often failures happen when you are not leading a balanced life. And I met up with a life coach recently, and the balanced life means maintaining social, maintaining spiritual, maintaining something fun for yourself,
True.
Career, and the emotional relationship side. And I think a lot of people prioritize only one out of these 5 or 2, and that causes problems. And also, if you prioritize only money as opposed to a search for meaning, and what is your meaning, what is your ikigai, is something you need to ask yourself.
True.
And if you prioritize only money, because money money is also cheap at some point. A lot of people have money, but
yes,
it's what you are drawn to is sophistication, caliber, class, right, at some level. And I think it comes from meaning. When you need to reflect yourself, that is what's going to help you lead and live a truly meaningful life.
That's an amazing insight, Sudhir. Sudhir, I had this question in my mind.
You said last question, Ritesh.
No, there is one bonus question for you. It's on. I have known you as a CEO, as a leader. I have never met Mr. Piyush. I want to understand from you, Mohsit, how is his leadership style and how he is able, because when I see you, you're always charged up, full of energy, full of passion. The moment you come into the store gets a different atmosphere, different vibes when Sudhir enters. So how Mr. Piyush Bansal leadership is imbibing in you, or how you're imbibing, taking his vision and implementing within your team? What is his leadership style?
So Piyush is an amazing leader. Actually, I go back with him almost a decade or maybe more. And he was in his first venture, which was Search My Campus. I was in ET now, and I sort of worked with him as a consultant while he was setting it up. And for maybe 3-4 months, and then we kept in touch, right? But he's an amazing leader, and I think if you think I have energy, he has 3x energy, and he has amazing vision, and he also knows the right balance of being involved and not being involved, right? Because at some level you need to be able to take your hands off, right? And he is, at a very young age, he's built an amazing company, and he's also learning like all of us, right? And the journey is just getting started, as they say. Picture abhi baki hai, mera dost.
Very nice. Well said, Sudhir. Friends, have you heard about one thing, between the lines? The key takeout of the leadership insight is leader at some point takes the hands away. They believe in delegation. They believe in empowerment. So thank you, Sudhir, for taking time out and sharing your lovely insight and plans about Lenskart.com for the Middle East region. Thank you, Sudhir. I would
absolute pleasure, Ritesh, and happy to support you in all your endeavors. Wish you all the best.
Thank you very much. Thank you, friends, and do check out the case study which I have on my website on Lenskart. It's one of the the D2C remarkable brand, and they have created a revolution in the industry. So keep following retailritesh.com. Thank you.